Did you wake up and see it today? I sure did. All eyes listening to that and looking up. I was waiting for that sound, and there it is. I got so excited when I watched this morning. Space travel took a giant step forward early this morning. I guess it wasn't that early, 9 a.m. Former Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos and 3 fellow passengers lifting off into space aboard his Blue Origin rocket this morning. A little weightlessness when they got to the top there. Billionaires, it does seem like they love space, right? Between him, Sir Richard Branson, and Elon Musk, all the wealthiest men in the world have literally been aiming for the stars recently. But listen, space isn't just the latest playground for the rich.
No, matter of fact, space is serious business, especially for our government, which now has a Space Force station here in Massachusetts. Did you know that? Because that is our starting point. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on the 10. We are spending 10 minutes tonight on Space Force, specifically its newest facility on Cape Cod. Right here in Massachusetts. And I know what you're thinking. Space Force, right? Wasn't that created to save us from Martian attacks? No, that's not what it's meant for. Okay, here's Tech Sergeant Dustin Spooner from the newly renamed Cape Cod Space Force Station. Clear things up.
No, we're not out there looking for aliens or anything like that. We're specifically for the threats that could be in space or anything that's just going on out there that we're not 100% sure as to what it is. You know, everyone wants to be a machine gunner outside the door of the space station, but, you know, that's not going to happen in my time.
Okay, so if they're not hunting little green men, then what are they doing? The military installation, which is part of Joint Base Cape Cod, is located in Sandwich. It serves as the home of the 6th Space Warning Squadron. They provide, ready, missile warnings, missile defense, and space surveillance. Yeah, the men and the women into space, but it's mostly at the satellites high above us and making sure that no other country actually developing weapons that could fire from space. That is actually a real concern. But let's start what does exist right now. We mentioned the missiles, and that's actually kind of important too, right? A big reason the military picked Cape Cod as one of the Space Force locations is missiles. And hopefully this never happens. Those missiles would come from outside the U.S., right? So they're making sure nothing like this ever reaches the U.S. Let's have First Lieutenant Patrick Maloney break it down.
Our missions are, we provide missile warning, missile defense, and space situational awareness. We provide the coverage for the eastern North America to make sure that we are protecting against intercontinental ballistic missiles, sub-launch ballistics, and we are tracking high-interest satellites, making sure that they are where they're supposed to be.
So if you're not necessarily someone who thinks about and worries about intercontinental missiles, you might think Space Force, that has little to do with my everyday life. You're wrong. You notice how everything is wireless these days, though? For better or worse, you're always connected. Well, that's because there's so much hovering well above Earth right now. All of it guides countless things we do every single minute of the day, as First Lieutenant Alicia Nakata tells us.
Space is ever growing. There's a lot of objects up there and a lot of space assets that we use on a daily basis. Every American uses the satellites that we have up in space. When you pay for your gas at the pump, or you use an ATM, or you use Google Maps when you're driving down the road, you're using our assets up in space. Yeah, GPS is used by our military on the ground as well, so it's not a laughing matter. But when Space Force first launched, it did get off to a rocky start. Some even thought it was a joke. I mean, it is one of the biggest targets when President Trump unveiled the logo, and you can see why, right? A lot of people thought it looked a lot like the Starfleet command insignia from the Star Trek series and movies. Millions of Americans have questioned, even mocked Space Force since it was announced. It sort of yells and screams to you to mock it, right? Space Force. 3 years ago, that's when it was announced. Even current White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki got a little sarcastic when a reporter asked her whether the Biden administration supports the military's next frontier. And here's what she had to say back.
The president has made a decision on keeping the scope of Space Force.
Wow, Space Force. It's the plane of today. It is an interesting question. I am happy to check with our Space Force point of contact. I'm not sure who that is. I will find out and see if we have any update on that.
Listen, I know a lot about snark. That's about as snarky as you can get for a response. Brushing it off, of course, is easy. Countless jokes by the late-night host, newest branch of the military. There's even an entire comedy series on Netflix. It's named Space Force.
The president is creating a new branch, Space Force, which Mark will run.
What?
Yeah, it was funny, though. Thanks in parts to shows like that and Star Trek, that logo that they have, and really the Rocky launch that wasn't terribly well received. They're just Han Solo and Chewie fighting off bad guys. It's fan fiction, not reality. That's not true. Listen, members of the Space Force, they've heard all the jokes. They've actually watched those shows. But as Sergeant Marco Regoza Jr. will tell you, the work they're doing is very serious, and it is very important.
I think everyone pictures what they see in the movies. Space Force was not designed as a joke. It was designed to take the current missions that were being done in the Air Force and focusing the energy and the ability to look at those different things and specifically fund and allow us the opportunity to make sure that the mission for the United States is protected, and we're able to take care of those specific things that the Space Command was doing as now as a Space Force.
Okay, that being said, the movie references the 4,000 or so members of the Space Force are called Guardians.
Come on.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking, too. Right there, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they almost make it too easy to make jokes, right? But on Cape Cod, yes, they're technically Guardians. But at this particular Space Force station, Tech Sergeant Dustin Spooner says they decided their name should be a little more grounded and something with a little more bite.
When the Space Force took it over, they decided Guardians was the way they wanted to go. So we decided, what's Cape Cod known for? Sharks, Jaws and everything like that. We decided to call ourselves the Sharks. And, we like to have fun with it. Great whites, hammerheads, whatever we want to do. And that's what it came down to.
So if they battle with the Air Force, is it the Sharks versus the Jets? All right. Well, this may seem like a crazy concept out of Hollywood like that. It's actually been done before in the U.S. military. Space Force was born out of the Air Force. Listen, the missions, the operations were already happening just under the Air Force umbrella. Here's First Lieutenant Patrick Maloney again.
So our mission hasn't changed. What we do every day is the same thing. What has changed is the organizational structure to allow us to be more agile and address the threats in a faster way to be able to provide for what the future has. So it's not a joke for what we're trying to do, and it's ultimately similar to what happened with the Air Force when it broke off from the Army.
It kind of makes sense, right? The Army's been around since 1775, back when we only fought wars on land and on water, very close to the ground there. Space wasn't really on only a few feet off the ground. Well, let's expand that a little bit, up to 31 miles. Now, commercial planes and fighter jets don't really fly anywhere close to that high, but there are some unmanned spy planes that reach more than 10 miles up. But even through World War II fighter planes, the pilots, all that action happening in the skies, that was under the Army until the Air Force was created in 1947. So now fast forward, and boy, do things open up. There is a lot going on up there. That Kármán line you see right there in the middle, that's where Bezos reached today, but there's a ton going on well above that. So instead of having the Air Force cover more airspace, they've decided to branch out, literally.
We are just another branch coming from the Air Force. And people didn't initially understand or even believe the validity of planes and air power. They will see that space power is probably one of the most important things, since as we evolve as a human race, we become more and more reliant on technology to bring us to the next level, to increase our lifespan, to better our way of life. So I have no doubt that people are going to understand, but I enjoy the mystery for now.
That's Captain Jessica McNevins, who works at Cape Cod Space Force Station, which only about a dozen so far in the country. The main Space Force bases are located in Colorado, California, and Florida. We mentioned the coastal stuff here and how that's important, too. There are other stations around the U.S., like, of course, here in Cape Cod, mostly near the coast. But you got Hawaii. You can kind of see it down there in the Pacific Ocean, Alaska up on the top left, and even Greenland. And the newest Space Force station, also in New England, we're talking about New Hampshire. Somebody last week gave it a new name. We're talking the New Boston Space Force Station, about 10 miles west of Manchester. Listen, even with all this information, people still don't really understand Space Force and truly the serious role it plays in a world where we're all connected.
Yeah, through space. So let's have the Cape Cod Space Station set the record straight.
We don't go to space. We're not astronauts. Not everyone in the Space Force is an astronaut. A lot of us we maintain assets both on the ground and in space.
Oh, that it's not necessary is probably one of the biggest misconceptions, but space is a very key element to safety and our national defense, and a lot of times when the way defense and safety work is you don't see it when it's working.
It's funny. A lot of people really snickered. It still do when you hear it.
I did when I first heard it.
But when you hear it and the explanation, especially like I wonder if people laughed at Air Force.
Exactly.
Back in the 40s.
But once you say, well, think about it. Now we have to cover this ground. Now we're covering this ground. So what is next for the Space Force? And that, obviously, is really hard to say.
Yeah, missile defense and satellite tracking is going to continue to play an important role. But one day, our sharks on the Cape may have to prepare for future beyond Earth's orbit.
It is the next frontier. It is where the future is leading in terms of our technological advancement. Other than the ocean, we've pretty much got Earth covered. So space is the next frontier.
For the Space Force, it's the next step. It is what is required for us to continue to maintain that edge against all of our adversaries, making sure that we are focused on the next horizon. So I have no idea what the future is going to hold, but I'm excited for it.
It's exciting. Yeah. Was to get space in all of our heads, right?
Yeah.
Watching Bezos hit that mark, Kármán line.
Yeah, he makes that mark, and who knows? I mean, there are so many satellites and things up there, and the fine folks down on the Cape, right in their own backyard, keeping an eye on all of them.
Do you know when you were saying, did you see it this morning? I'm watching it from bed, and I thought, okay, wait a minute, 4 people just flew to space and came back, and I'm still in my PJs.
Yeah, you know what? They had a busier morning than both of us.
Let's step it up, people.
That's for sure.
That got me out of bed.